Hello, welcome to M. Eddington Reads and Writes.
Ramil chuckled at Phoebe's response, his gaze then sweeping across the serene surroundings. His eyes landed on Sandra, a fellow warrior, struggling to push a cart loaded with an array of gleaming weapons. The wheels of the cart had caught on a stubborn rock, impeding her progress. In an instant, Ramil sprung to his feet, excusing himself from Ruby and Phoebe's embrace. "Give me a moment, ladies," Ramil declared, his voice filled with firm determination. With a swift stride, he proceeded towards Sandra, his steps purposeful and assured. He reached out to assist her, their hands meeting as they both grappled with the stubborn cart. Sandra's eyes met Ramil's, gratitude shining brightly within them as she exhaled a grateful, "Thank you." As the cart was finally freed from its rocky obstacle, Sandra found herself catching her breath. Ramil, his gaze now focused on Sandra. Concern furrowed Ramil's brow as he uttered the question, "Where is Emathian?" With a heavy sigh, Sandra began to unravel a complex web of emotions. "My father declared yesterday that I am no longer allowed to see Emathian," she confessed, the pain evident in her voice. "And so, our relationship came to an abrupt end." Ramil's eyes narrowed as anger simmered within him. "You broke my brother's heart," he accused, each word dripping with indignation. "How dare you let your father's desires control your actions, as he has always done?" Sandra's gaze met Ramil's, her eyes filled with a mixture of regret and resignation. "I knew deep down that my time with Emathian was only temporary," she admitted, her voice tinged with sorrow. "I must respect my father's wishes, no matter how much it pains me." Ramil's anger flickered, momentarily replaced by a flicker of understanding. "Go then," he finally relented, his voice softening. "But know that my brother's heart will take time to heal. The choices we make always leave scars." Ramil raced through the crowded streets of Dweller City. His mind was a whirlwind of worry and fear, his steps quick and urgent. He burst through the front door of his modest home, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Inside, Agniostra and Sinai were engrossed in their own world, lounging on the worn couch and lost in the pages of their books. The sudden intrusion startled Agniostra, causing her to jump in surprise. "What's wrong, Ramil?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. Ramil struggled to catch his breath, his words tumbling out in a rush. "Did you know Sandra broke up with Emathian?" Sinai, who had been absorbed in his own thoughts, looked up from his book. "That explains everything," she said softly. "I thought he was just immersed in a new book, but it seems he's been locked in his room all day." The gravity of the situation sank in, and without hesitation, Ramil, Agniostra, and Sinai hurried up the creaky staircase towards Emathian's room. Emathian had retreated into the depths of his grief. Agniostra stood in front of Emathian's door. She knocked gently, his voice pleading as he spoke, "Emathian, please let us in. We're here for you." From within the room, Emathian's voice was barely a whisper, filled with pain and sadness. "Go away, please," he murmured, the words laced with the weight of his despair. As Agniostra, Ramil, and Sinai cautiously enter the room, a heavy tension hangs in the air. Emathian sits on the edge of his bed, his shoulders slumped.
Thanks for watching and share, subscribe.